time once again to slip into your camo, grab your bow, and join us out in the field for another episode of the Up North Journal, presented by PSE Archery. The Up North Journal crew is knocked and ready to rock for another exciting adventure, so let's step outside and hit the trail.
This episode is brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
Badass Slingshots,
and Mossy Oak.
So what do you do when you've completely redefined the way bows are engineered? When you've reached the pinnacle and the band starts playing your victory song, you start a revolution out of thin air. Introducing the all-new PSE Carbon Air, engineered with true carbon technology to be the lightest high-performance bow in the world. Experience PSE. Experience performance.
We know the future of hunting depends on our nation's youth. But did you know that in many states, it's illegal for you to take your son or daughter hunting until the age of 12 or even older? As a result, we have fewer young hunters, and the Families Afield program is designed to eliminate those barriers. Hunting is safe, and the safest hunters afield are young people with adult mentors. Visit our website at familiesafield.org to find out how you can bring more families afield.
Welcome back to another Up North Journal minicast from Cabela's.
Another, I'm kind of liking this Up at Cabela's thing.
Yeah, comfortable there, sitting back,
Comfortable,
taking it
music's
easy.
going in the background.
Air conditioned.
It is air conditioned. It's not too hot though today.
No, it's not.
It's been kind of rainy all weekend.
It has,
and
we needed the rain though.
We definitely needed the rain, and but it kind of being here kind of set me back a little bit on my project.
Yeah, speaking of cool weather and a little rain, when it's cool weather and rain, you need to be indoors or in an enclosure when you're hunting, and that's what we want to talk about today. You're building an enclosure.
You're right. I like I said before, when I went up for my vacation to the cabin, and I did a little work on the property. Got the chainsaw out. That's never a bad thing, by the way.
I'd like to see you with a chainsaw. You could be dangerous, I think.
I cleared some. It started out to work on a ground type blind that I wanted to improve, but when I cleared out a couple of trees, and actually what had happened is a couple of trees had fallen from the winter.
Okay.
And it kind of changed my perspective of what I was looking at and how I was set up.
Okay.
Because I was set up on a side, not directly the top of the knoll because I couldn't get there because of the tree.
Right.
But a couple of the trees that had fallen were those trees, and there was one more for me to cut down. Okay. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to cut this tree down. I cut it about, I think, waist high maybe, just to because it's about 20 feet in the air. Yeah. And I cut it, fell, and I was kind of looking around, and I'm kind of saying, well, wait a second, I got a different view right at this spot. Yeah. So what I did is I stood up on that stump, and I said, you know what, this is a good spot for a box blind. So there comes my project.
So Danny jumped up on a stump, kind of like Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Jumped up on a hickory stump and said, boy, let me tell you what.
Yeah, I
think I can shoot deer from this spot.
I tell you what.
That sounds like a song.
You should work on it.
Yeah, I'll
work
on that.
I tell you what, it gave me a new view, and I was like, holy cow, this is it. You know that when you're out hunting and you walk into a spot and it just hits you?
The epiphany.
It was.
Yeah.
It was like, OMG, this is it. If I get this high, and if I'm sitting right here, I can see this much more, and I can still see into the swamp where I want to see.
Isn't it amazing how just a little bit of height, and I'm not trying to make a joke here.
No,
seriously,
no.
Just a little bit of height in a box blind. You move up maybe 3-4 feet off the ground.
Well, that's what I did. I was on the ground in a chair.
It's amazing, and it changes your whole view.
I went from on the ground in a chair in a blind, a pop-up blind, to up on top of the hill, standing on top of a stump. So it got me probably about, I'll say, 8 feet in the air.
Okay.
For my eyesight.
Okay.
And that changed it huge. So
we're going to do that this year at a couple of spots of ours. Same thing.
So
we're hoping to. We have time.
I came back from vacation and then started the project. I started building a box blind. I'm making it 6x6.
Okay.
I got the platform done. That's 8x8. I got a set of elevators so I can have the proper
You
angle
got elevators in your blind?
I do.
Wow, that's cool.
Pretty nice, huh?
I like that.
Yeah. I finished the base last week. I started. I got all the walls done. Now I'm just going to start assembling it. I'm going to put a skin on it. Put the walls up.
Right.
It's all framed and ready to go. But it's and you know what? Kind of a cool thing is my daughters are helping me and her friends. And
family project.
It is a family project because they know if we get this built, they're going to hunt out of it, or they can hunt out of it.
Right on.
And it's going to be someplace that's going to be kind of like it'll be a place to hunt, but also be able to go there and warm up.
Sure.
There's sometimes I don't necessarily use that same spot.
Right.
And I'll take off somewhere else, but I can always come back and.
Yep. Weather gets bad and you need to warm up a little bit. You get inside.
Or something we like to do. I don't know about you, but after a few days in the same spot, you kind of want that change of.
Sure.
So
change of scenery. Yeah, hunting pressure in one location can get to be too much hunting the same spot over and over and over again.
Right. Exactly. So I'm working on that project. I'm doing it during the week when I've got a little bit of time in the evenings when I come home from work. So hopefully I'll have it almost all put together by the end of this week.
Okay.
Now, painted.
Your thought process, you said you're making it 6x6, but you made the base 8x8. You're going to have like a little porch to where you can open the door and stand without having to move around and get inside?
So, yeah, with it being 6x6, and if you center it on 8x8, that leaves you a foot all the way around, right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of funny. I was thinking two reasons. One, this isn't something that is going to be put together and I'm going to take it up there. It's going to be first, I'm going to have to break it all back down again.
Right.
And then I'm going to have to transport it into the woods.
Right.
So once I get the base into position and I get that steady, then I got to put the walls.
Right.
And I wanted something that I could stand on the outside and work around it.
Okay.
Instead of all from the inside and not being able. You could use ladders, but
sure.
You could just you can walk around the whole outside there.
I got you.
And then plus, if I run a propane tank or anything like that, I got a ledge I can.
Right. Yeah. As a point of suggestion, that's kind of the way we do ours. And even when you put it on that base, maybe set like a 4x4 between the base and the actual blind. The problem we had with ours setting them directly on bases is those ledges collect snow, and then that siding becomes like a sponge and starts to take water in.
Yep.
It tends to rot them out a little quicker. So
I was thinking of maybe using a TV product on that.
A TV product?
Yeah, this is another epiphany moment here. I saw it on a TV infomercial.
Oh, no.
You were talking about that same thing, right? You're getting water collecting at the seam.
Yep.
What if I were to use spray and seal, which is a rubber-based paint, and coat it about 6 inches above and below all the way around the bottom? They did it to a screen and made a boat, and it floated.
Yeah. Wait, that's not all.
That's not all.
If you buy right now in the next 5 minutes, you get a set of Ginsu steak knives.
But no, that's one of those things.
I never thought about that.
Dude, it hit me again, and I was like, So stay tuned if I do that or not. I really want to do that.
Okay.
And then, since we're talking about my project, is your blinds insulated?
Yes and no.
Okay.
One is and one isn't.
Okay.
See, now I moved areas from one area to another.
Oh, that's right. You switched areas.
Yeah, and the blinds that I left, actually I'm going to only move one of my older blinds. And that one's not. That one is insulated, but it needs to be reworked. The two blinds that I, quote unquote, inherited, one is insulated, one is not. And the one that's insulated is actually spray foamed, which is kind of nice.
Is it really?
Yeah. But now, with that being said, there's one window that's always open, one port.
Oh, okay.
It's always open, and I may work on that a little bit and try to.
Are you gonna go up in whenever the next 2 months and do some blind maintenance?
Yeah, we got some work to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We matter of fact, now that just reminded me that I got to put a new decking on one of our tree stands.
Yeah. And that's a good thing too is get up north or wherever you're hunting, down south or out west or whatever direction you head. Get to your camp. Don't wait till right before season to do it. Get in there, check your blinds, make sure everything's good, make sure they're not leaking, make sure you don't have to fix anything, and then trim shooting lanes because trees grow.
Exactly right. Well, that's what I was doing going in. I was going to trim some trees out to open.
And now you're building a whole new blind.
Yeah, now I'm building a whole new blind. So no, stay tuned. I'm going to post some. There's some pictures out there, and I'll post some more as I get a little further into my project.
Okay.
And
might be a good blog. Stay
tuned for when. The official heading up north to put it up weekend.
I'll
have a good report after that.
Okay.
Because I'm just envisioning, it was kind of funny. I'm starting to assemble it and put it together and dropped a screw. It's like, yeah, I ain't gonna find that in the woods.
Right. that is an issue. It is. I mean, we build up our stuff like that up there too. We build it in panels, take it up, and then assemble it.
Yep.
Yeah. And you start dropping stuff. It's not easy to find. You
better
take extra. So,
but stay tuned, and we'll see how my project goes.
All right. Well, that's cool. Well, that'll do it for this minicast. This episode was brought to you by PSE Archery,
Black Eagle Arrows,
Cabela's,
Antler Action,
Spot Shooter Archery,
Tom's Custom Turkey Calls,
Family Traditions Tree Stands,
Badass Slingshots,
and Mossy Oak.
Thanks for listening, and join us again here next week. Until then, remember, as we always like to say, if you're out on the water or in the woods, shoot straight and be safe until next week on the Up North Journal.